With us now is Evan Hirsch, who basically doesn't really need any introduction, except for the fact that he's got a new logo and it is so spot on. Ladies and gentlemen, our Evan Hirsch. Yay!
Hello, Donna. How are you?
That new logo, because I started out in graphic art and design, it just speaks to me. It's like, bam.
I was like agonizing over that thing, and I would show it. Everybody has an opinion. So I would show it to every person. What is the squiggly line? Why is that capitalized? Why did you put the New York there? And then finally someone said, that's the one. Like, I really like it.
That is Evan Hirsch.
Honestly, when people said that it fits me, that's no greater compliment that you could get.
It does. It's just like that whole thing, like the way that it's just perfect for you. So
thank you.
Those of you that haven't seen it, we're going to be showing it up on the screen now. So now tell us bridal, okay? It is bridal time.
Right.
And you're going to have your looks where?
At the Bridal Expo at Nassau Coliseum this coming weekend. I'm working with Princess Bridals, which is a store that's been around for about 50 years. And I showed my collection to them and they really liked it. And what's great is that I go in, they help me from a retail point of view, and they help me kind of merchandise it and do different design details. So it's really great to have a retailer's perspective on what you design. So that's been so helpful.
Now, the fabric that you chose, I guess, is it organza? Is it satin? What are we looking at here in terms of fabrics?
4 layers of tulle in each one with a layer of organza under it. So good attention to detail. You know your fabrics. I love it. And then I also have some beading, and we also have a layer of charmeuse, which is really nice. So brides could get a 2-in-1 kind of look, as I usually do.
Charmeuse. What is, I'm not familiar with that fabric. Tell me about that.
It's like a satin,
okay,
but it's like a little thinner. So you could, some people call it charmeuse satin because it does have that sheen, same as like a satin fabric. But it's a little bit thinner if you want something more airy. I like to use charmeuse. It's a fancy way of saying like a lighter satin.
La-ti-da.
Right?
Fancy. Yeah, so most of the time back in the day, bridal gowns were made out of different materials, right? They were using lace, or they were using satin, or organza, or chiffon, or what are some of the other ones? This new one you just mentioned was like, I was like, what is that? It's called charmeuse. Charmeuse.
Yeah.
Charmeuse.
So I'm discovering new fabrics like every day.
That's what I was going to ask you. Yes. Okay. So textiles are also evolving, just like design.
Most definitely.
Okay. So sometimes do you find yourself going into the fabric store and just like touching things and getting a swatch of this and a swatch of that?
Yeah. I mean, we took textile classes in school all the time, and they tried to make our vernacular of textiles like really wide and expansive. But I'm discovering things like I didn't know. Like, I'll meet with other designers and they'll be like, did you put a layer of cotton organdy under your corset? And I'm like, did I what? Like,
should I be doing that?
Right, exactly. Or like, did you put the horsehair canvas with the pad stitching? I'm like, what? So like, I'm discovering things every so often. And sometimes I'll just see something I'm really attracted to with fabric, and I'll be like, what is that? Have I ever seen this before? And it could be something that's backed, that the fabric store like created, like a satin backed, you know, fabric, or they'll like inlay a lace or like interface things to make it heavier. So people are discovering new textiles and like looming things all the time. So,
and so what you're really doing is you're layering, and you're almost like painterly about it. You're creating like, you know, I guess like a masterpiece gown for someone, right?
Most definitely. And mine have a lot of layers. Sometimes my seamstresses are like, why do we have 6 dresses underneath one? And I'm like, the vision. It's
because
all the
it's
vibe.
Evan Hirsch. It's
Right.
Evan Hirsch original.
Right.
Okay, so what are we looking at here today, Evan?
So these are 2 of the dresses that are going to be featured at the Bridal Expo this weekend. I'm hoping I've heard that like 2,500 to 3,000 brides will come through, so they might see, and they're doing a fashion show at Princess Bridals, so they'll be able to see it in action, but I could show you as well.
Okay.
So these are a 2-in-1 type look, as I usually do. So this one has a bow that will come out completely. It'll come right out, and then she comes down to reveal this mermaid gown. So that's that one.
Very nice. Now, would you recommend that they wear the shorter look for, you know, the service or for the luncheon, or go like, can they go back and forth? Could they do this for the ceremony, then do the bridal lunch with it up, and then go down for the dinner dance? Like,
it's really versatile, and every bride could have a specific kind of preference in what she likes. I mean, my always vision is when they introduce the happy couple, she could go down and kind of just like rip it off. And this one is the same way, where she'll be in a tulle look, and then she'll just bring this down and turn into a ball gown.
Wow.
So It could be 2 in 1.
Yay!
Anything that you need.
So nice, so nice. Okay, so these 2 gowns will actually be displayed in Long Island at the Bridal Expo.
Yes.
And then people can reach out to you, and I know that you have a huge following now, Evan. How are you handling the influx of calls?
Well,
are you trying to still get back to them personally? Are you having people help you now a little?
Well, now what I realized is that retailers, they are able to bridge that gap of getting these dresses to actual people. So many people would message me and say, oh, I want that dress, and can you get it to me? I live in Ohio. And I'm like, I don't know how to get the dress to you in Ohio and be able to fit it to you and teach you how it reveals and do the whole kind of 9 yards. But once I started working with retailers, they have dedicated sales teams that can come in and know what a bride wants. So it's really just like a good concept in terms of like, I never really understood when you go to a store and you pick out a dress, I mean, that one's already pre-made. But in terms of bridal, you have to have something special ordered, which makes more sense with what I do. To get
it's
a couple
customized.
fittings. Yeah, it's customized.
And now you just get to
fittings.
enjoy being the designer.
Right, exactly.
I love that for you, Evan.
My business sense is like, it needs some work. I need to learn from you the best.
This is great. So you're thriving at doing what you love to do.
I love this every day. And when I'm not making these creations come to life, I'm thinking of new ones. So
Correct.
It really never stops.
It never stops because there's spring fashion week, fall fashion week, this fashion week, that fashion week.
Pre-fashion week, pre-fall, pre-winter, pre-spring. There's like 6 fashion weeks in between like 12 others. So it's really nonstop ideas, but I can't complain about that. I love it.
Well, I saw you doing a little stitching here today too in the studio. We love having you here. Just your energy, your vibe. All the guests love just being with you and seeing the process.
I feel the same.
Stay tuned for more. We've been living it up with Evan Hirsch. That's right, Evan Hirsch. And please, if you have an idea that you would like to see in a transformational video, send all of your likes, comments, and thoughts to Evan Hirsch. Be well.